Hi, this is Shabelle TV. Welcome to the news in English live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor. The top headlines include Somali president arrived in Washington for the talks between the African leaders and the President of United States, Joe Biden, who hosts the leaders of the African continent for business. Somali security forces have conducted a large operation in the capital Mogadishu where they detained hundreds of suspected Al-Shabaab militants. Somali Prime Minister has said his government will leave no stone unturned to liberate the country from Al-Shabaab militants. Somali National Army Chief General Odwa Yusuf Rage says the government forces backed by local fighters have regained the control of a strategic location outside Adan Jabal town in Middle Shabelle region. Members of the Ugandan parliament who paid a visit to Mogadishu say they will support the welfare of the Ugandan Defense Forces UPDF, part of the African Union Transition Mission in Mogadishu, known as ATMIS. Somali leaders are discussing ways to stabilize the newly liberated villages in central and southern regions. Welcome back to the news in detail. Somali President His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has held a meeting with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh for talks on the bilateral relations between Somalia and the United Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Somali President has pledged that his country will boost the diplomatic ties between his country and Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, his part, has pledged that his country will support Somali's efforts to regain the control of the entire region. According to a statement released by the Office of the President, said that Saudi Arabia is now keen on to boost the bilateral relations with Somalia. Somali President, while in Riyadh, has attended the Chinese, African and Arab Leaders Summit that discussed future cooperation between China and the Arab countries. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has held a meeting with leaders of several Arab countries on the sidelines of the China Arab Summit in Riyadh that was held on Monday. Somali President is expected to travel to Washington, D.C. to attend the U.S.-Africa Summit, which is expected to open in Washington on 13th of December. The meeting ways of the meeting between the two sides, the African continent and the United States of America, seeks to cooperate on the investment and the trade between United Arab Emirates among the Arab leaders who attended the Riyadh summit between China and the African and Arab leaders. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has promised that Somalia is determined to boost the diplomatic ties with the friendly countries, among them Saudi Arabia. The visit by the Somali president to the Saudi Arabia is the first since he was elected as the 10th president of the country in May of this year. Somali president has previously visited United Arab Emirates upon his election. Somali government forces backed by local community fighters in Middle Shabelle region have managed to recapture a strategic location outside Aden Yabal town, which has fallen to the Somali National Army days ago following offensive against Al-Shabaab militants. Speaking to the state media, General Odwa Yusuf Rage, the chief of the Somali National Army, has confirmed the capture of Al-Kauthar village located on the outskirts of Aden Yabal town without facing resistance from Al-Shabaab militants who withdrew from the area upon the arrival of the government forces and their advances. This was the latest gain made by the Somali National Army and backed by the local fighters since the launch of the new offensive in August in parts of central and southern Somalia. Government forces are now aiming to liberate the entire country from Al-Shabaab after a decade years ago. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has declared an all-out war against Al-Shabaab following a deadly attack at a hotel in Mogadishu that has left 21 people dead. Despite being driven out of their major strongholds in Somalia, Al-Shabaab still poses a potent threat to the national security as well as the security of the East African countries who sent their troops to the country to be part of the African Union mission in Somalia that fights against Al-Shabaab militants. Somali forces are now backed by the United States military, who are supporting air strikes against Al-Shabaab militants. Al-Shabaab lost major strongholds in Hiran, Galgaduud and Middle Shabelle region, and this gives the government the upper hand of the war against Al-Shabaab fighters. Al-Shabaab has been carrying out deadly attacks inside Somalia and beyond the country, among them Kenya, which faced deadly strikes from Al-Shabaab after sending its troops into Somalia in 2011. Finally, Somali security forces in Mogadishu say they have detained dozens of suspected Al-Shabaab fighters during the operation in parts of the city. The operation comes amid intensified security measures in place in the city after Al-Shabaab attacks that were targeted a nearby village and Villa Royce Hotel that located on the outskirts of Villa Somalia. Somali police, backed by the National Intelligence Agencies, have arrested dozens of Al-Shabaab suspected youngsters without weapons during the operations. Police spokesperson said they are committed to tightening the security and avert possible Al-Shabaab attacks in Mogadishu. That's the end of our today's English news live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor, and the entire team of the program will leave you. Bye for now.